Hello and welcome to my Facebook Live. My name's Jenny McCormack and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Brackley, which is a small market town in the centre of the UK. So thank you for joining me. If you're joining me live, please feel free to comment so that I know that you're there. Sometimes Facebook doesn't always show me who's here and joining in, so I'm hoping to bring that up on my other screen and see who's joined me, if it's playing the game. Looks like it might be. So thank you for joining me. Looks like we've got the lovely Katie, Carol, Molly and Fiona. So far, so good. I've been watched on television. Thank you, Molly. Hi, Carol. Hi, Katie. So, let me show you what we've been working on this week. So we've been using this stamp set called So Much Love, as you can see. It has two main images. It has some little dots and three different sentiments. This was the card I did on Tuesday, just stamping and colouring in with our blends pens. Those colours are Flirty Flamingo, light and dark. And then yesterday I actually did this one live, so these two cards here. So this one here on the right is Very Vanilla and Night of Navy, and I've just stamped the smaller of the flowers, as you can see, and a thanks on the right hand side. And then this one I've done with white embossing powder on Night of Navy. I could have done this actually with the matching vanilla card, because the white embossing powder is very slightly off-white, so I could have got away with it actually on the vanilla, which I think I prefer. But it served its purpose for yesterday's session. So today I thought I'd step it up again. So let me pop those away. Hi Tracy, hi Jeanette, hi Babsy, hi Fiona. So what I thought I would do is use two extra things. So one is the Boho Indigo papers, and I featured this on Monday. And the other are these gold pieces of leaves and foliage, like so. And they come from the Forever Gold 12 by 12 sheet. So you get 6 sheets in a pack, and you get all of these lovely images. You get some larger background images. You get lots of individual leaves, and all in this lovely gold, and these are all laser cut. So these are all cut ready for you to use. So a really versatile set. There's some die cuts from the matching stamp set and dies. I appreciate you can't see all of these in detail, but you get lots in the box. So I use this as part of one of my Glass in the Box series. Let's grab another one of those. So that's just some offcuts. And then what I've done is I've created a layer of gold. Now this is actually the brushed gold, and so I don't waste any of the middle, because this is going to be covered up. So I've cut this already to size. I've used my die cutting machine to cut out some pieces of the gold, and I've cut 2 of these out, because those are always a useful size to have. So I've got a bit of fluff attached to it. And I also cut this one out. And the reason I cut this one out is so that if I use this die cut, and I haven't actually decided which one I'm going to use, that fits perfectly in the centre of that frame. If I pick this up here, you can see like so. Now I may not use this because it might be overkill once I've got the rest of the card layered up, but that frame comes from this set of dies, as you can see, called Ornate Frames, and I've used this one here and then this one here, but you've got lots of really nice frames. You've got this one with a cutout that has another cutout, so you could layer these up, and you've got a square one here like a picture frame, you've got a curvy one, and then you've got another one here, and a fancy little one here. I'll get that one out. So I don't use these very much, and I really think I should do. These are in the annual catalogue, so they did go with the Halloween stamp set that was in catalogue last year, but they carried it over into the main catalogue. So if you like lots of little labels and things like that, then it's called Ornate Frames, if anybody's interested in that. Oh, there's that little one there, look, very cute. The item number, if anybody wants to write it down, is 150664, but I will add a link to that at the end of the video. So what I had in mind, as you'll have seen from my little photograph, is going to layer these up like so, and then I'm going to use these die cuts in the background. I haven't decided which ones I'm going to use yet. And then I'm going to stamp and cut out a very vanilla version, and I'm going to sit that on the top. Obviously it's going to be a little bit better laid out than that, but that was the general idea. Now I can't quite decide whether to use the large flower or the small one. So I've got the small one there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the large one. I'm going to fussy cut that out, there's no dies for it, and then we can decide which is going to look better. And then I've got a piece here for the sentiment, which I'm going to gold emboss on the navy. So I hope you like the design. Hi Moretta, thanks for joining us. So let's pop this all up there for a second. And so I've got an offcut of vanilla, like so. Let's just grab the larger stamp to swap this over, and as I say, we can decide which one we think is going to look better. Now this has got a little bit of a ridge on it, so I'm just making sure that I stamp fairly centrally in there. So I've got Night of Navy ink, which I'm going to ink up, like so. There we go. So I hope everybody is well. It's turned out to be a nice afternoon, and I'm trying to be fairly prompt because of the light faded really quickly last week. And it's so much nicer to be able to work with daylight rather than have to use artificial light. Okay, so I'm just going to fussy cut this out. Now you know I'm not a mega fan of fussy cutting. I know a lot of people love to fussy cut. I don't mind doing a little bit here and there. Cut this little piece off here. I know it's not particularly exciting for you to watch me, but at least it's only one. I'm not fussy cutting a whole load of them. So I'm just keeping it, the scissors the same distance really from the edge, moving the card rather than the scissors. Like so, and these are our paper snips that I'm using, so they're nice and sharp. going to come in on all of the edges of that. Like so. So I hope everybody's had a good day. Can't believe it's Friday tomorrow, mainly because we obviously had a bank holiday. And although I did a Facebook Live, it still felt like a holiday because I was out later with friends, which I wouldn't normally be on a Friday. So I think a lot of people are suffering from, what day is it today? More than normal. Okay. So obviously if you were doing this, you could be much more accurate. The other thing you could do is find a floral image that has a matching die cut. So the Bloom and Grow, which I mentioned earlier in the week, has a die cut, so I'm going to be using that maybe the week after next, and try and do a non-floral one for next week. Okay, so those last little bits. There we go. Let's do this little bit here at the top. Obviously you could do that much more accurately than me if you wanted to, if you have time to. Okay, I'm happy with that. That will do the job for me without boring you too much. Okay. So what I'm going to do is pop this layer together and then decide which of the two images I'm going to use. So I'm going to pop this one onto there. That's a really pretty background. I think I said that last time, didn't I? I'm just going to use my seal for that. So this is 1/2 centimetre smaller than this gold panel, and this is the brushed gold. I actually intended to pick up the shiny gold, but the brushed gold obviously spoke to me first, or it was first out of the packet maybe. Okay, oops. Yeah, don't press too hard. And then this is going to go onto a vanilla layer. Now I could choose a navy blue layer or misty moonlight, so I've got plenty of glue in the centre part. So if you're doing this on grid paper, just be careful you don't attach yourself to the grid paper. So just making sure that's going to work. There we are. That is that lovely Boho Indigo paper. It's just so nice. Okay, and hidden the fact that I've cut out a whole set of panels underneath there. So here are my two images. So let's have a little look. So I was thinking of having it slightly up to the left so that I can put my sentiment here. So I'm not worrying about how these are overlapping. Let me just trim that little bit off. I just want to get a rough sort of layout for this. Could add this one. So pretty. So these are all just bits and pieces left over. Now if I'm doing this and I get a layout that I really like, what I'll do is I'll take a photograph of it so that I can then take the components off, look at the photo and replace them if I've got it in a particular position. So let's have a look. So we've got that one there. or that one there, and I'm thinking actually the bigger one is better. Does anybody disagree? Because I think it will take it. And then I can add my sentiment in on here, and I can cut this down if I need to, because I think this will be a bit of overkill. Yes, it definitely will. So I think I'm going to go for the larger one, the larger of the two images. So all I'm going to do is just lift these off. I'm just sort of putting them in the rough area that I had them. And because it's going to be covered up, I'm just going to use wet glue so I can move it around a little bit. But I'm not worrying too much. Let's see the light. Come on, there we go. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue on there, bringing this one sort of down. And then these are nice actually with the white side as well. Obviously I've got vanilla card here, but you could do a very nice card with a Night of Navy layer and just using the white side instead of the gold. So I'm going to have that one pointing up to there. Hi Vivian. Yes, take a photo of it. And especially if you've got, you know, cats or anything that are likely to jump on it and move things around. Or sometimes I do a layout and then change it, and then I'm desperately trying to think what it looked like before. So if that is the case, just take a layout as it was, and then you can go in and add to it. So I'm just going to have this one up high, and then I may or may not put this one in. I'm just going to have a look and see. Obviously if you didn't have this Forever Green, Forever Gold set, you could certainly die cut your own from the gold paper or from any other card, especially if you've got the Forever Green dies that have these lovely leaves and things on. So let me just see if I need that. I'm not sure that I do. I quite like that feathery look round here. So this one I'm going to pop on with dimensionals. There we go. So I was busy finishing the designs for my class in a box today, ready for September. So anybody in my VIP group will have seen a few of them, a little sneak of them. So I will show you 3 of the designs here, and the if I can find them, and the papers. I put them somewhere safe. So dangerous in my house. Okay, so I think I'm just going to angle that so this leaf comes in the gap like so. And you could of course do a coloured version of this. So I've gone for the blue and navy, but you could easily do that as a coloured panel with some coloured backing, especially if you used our regals or our brights or something. And then I'm going to add my sentiment. So I've got that might be quite tall, and I've got this one. So what I'm thinking is I might use this one but stamp the sentiment to the left and then chop it off rather than do the whole thing. I've got this funky one as well with these little dots. I love this one. but I can save that ready for next time. So I'm just going to do my heat embossing on this one here. Oh, bless you. Thanks, Vivian. I look forward to your email. Full email details will be out tomorrow. Right, so I do like to do my fingers as well, because you are going to be picking this up unless you're using tweezers. This is quite a new one actually, so it's very full. Okay, so that's the embossing buddy, just to stop the static attaching bits to everything. I've got a thanks here, a Versamark ink pad, and my gold embossing powder. Now I have to say this is slightly contaminated. I really do need to replace this. And if you can see, it's got bits of glitter in, which is all very well, but if you've got a bit of glitter right where you've got a fine bit of sentiment, it can stop that little bit embossing. So I'm just inking this up, and I'm going to stamp this over to my left. There we go. So you can just see that in the light, hopefully. I'm going to hold it from the right hand side, which is where I'm going to cut it off anyway, and add my powder. So yesterday I did white embossing powder on Night of Navy. There we go, so you can see there's a little bit of glitter on there, but I think we'll be okay. Right, just going to warm up my heat gun. Secret is to let it warm up before you hit the paper with it. And if you've got a Stampin' Up heat gun, they have two settings. So they have that one, which is like a drying setting, and then there's the full-on heat setting. So if you're doing embossing, you want the faster setting. Just turn that round. There we go. Try not to do my fingers at the same time. Okay, so there's the heat embossing. Bit difficult in this light because it's gone a bit dull outside. So what I'm going to do is cut that off. Let me just see if it's worth. See, I think this is too busy. Yeah, if that was on its own in the centre, that would be stunning, but I'm going to trim that off. Tuck the blue under the gold. Oh, yes, I could do that, couldn't I? Like that, you mean? That would work too. It'd be better if I hadn't stamped the thanks further over, but yeah, that's a really good point, Molly. I could have done that. I could even have it on top, to be honest. If that was in, if that was in the way. But I think, so what I could do, if I was doing this again, I could position this whole thing slightly further over. But I am going to trim this one off, just to show you don't need a full die cut. But it was a very valid point, Molly. And I'm sorry these are all thanks, it's just that I need lots of thank you cards. So I do like to trim it on the trimmer if I can, because I know what my cutting is like. And then you know what it's like, if you've done it yourself, you'll sit there looking at it, being annoyed. So there we go. So I can attach this to the outside edge, to the gold edge, or to the blue edge. I think I'm going for the blue edge, but I am going to put it up on dimensionals. And there we go. Hello Claire, thanks for joining us. Hope the children are right now, they're all both back at school. There we go. So there's my finished card. I've got gold embossed thanks on there. I've just used these layers behind. I've got dimensionals underneath there. So it just gives a little bit of interest. And I think I'm going to stamp on the inside as well, just to finish it off nicely. I'm going to stamp the smaller image. No, I'm just going to stamp the bigger one because it's there. Let me grab a small piece of grid paper though, or something. This will do. There we go. Right, I'm going to move my gold embossing powder out of the way so I don't flick it everywhere. Right, I've got that across the corner. Ink that one up and pop it on the corner, and we're done. Like so. So this is Night of Navy ink. It's a bit narrow, isn't it? Never mind. I'll wipe it up off my table. It's only my worktop anyway, my tile. There we go. Okay, so there we have our finished card from today. So I hope you like the stepped up version. Quite different to our earlier ones, which are here. So as I said, you could do that with a coloured version and use some coloured pattern paper behind. I might give that a go. And then that was the stamped version, so effectively recreating that, stamped all the way over. And then we did this one, which was white embossed on the navy. Okay, so I hope you like that. If you'd like to see a sneak peek of the September class in a box, and that's my class that comes to you, and all of my classes of this type, my class in a box, are £20, and that includes everything you need to make the cards, with the exception of stamped sentiments. But actually in the Christmas one, which is the next one I'm doing now, there will be some Happy Christmas sentiments included as die cuts. So let me show you just very quickly. So these are the products that I'll be using to make your packs up. So we have an embossing folder that does these, I know you can't really see that, snowflakes. I don't think you can see that. You'll see it in one of the samples. And then we've got this lovely stamp set called Snowflake Wishes. All of these are actually bigger than you see there. So that's just the index sheet. If I open them up, they're much bigger. See, I haven't cleaned that one. Tap, tap, tap. So you get all of these snowflake stamps. So the stamp set is optional. And then it also has some matching dies. Okay, here there's 2 sets of them. But you will get die cuts in your pack. So you'll get lots of snowflakes ready cut. And then this one here cuts an aperture with the snowflakes. And these are all designed to layer up one on top of the other. So let me show you. So I'm going to let you see 3. Hello Julie. Thanks Jeanette. I can't decide which 3 to show you. Okay, let me show you this one. So the colours in the set include Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape, Night of Navy, Seaside Spray, Whisper White, Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay. So you'll get cards in all of those. So you can swap this out. This is the embossing folder that I've applied to a piece of vellum. Okay, so it takes on the colour of whatever's behind it. So that's card number 1. This has got some stamping on it, but you could use some of the designer paper, draw around, you'll get this die cut, you could draw around on designer paper if you wanted to. Let me see, here's another one. This is called a floating card, where you have a panel of acetate in the centre. You could also do this card in landscape mode if you wanted. So there's a floating card. And oh, which one shall I show you? I'm going to show you this one. So this is a die cut. I don't know if you can see that. So I applied the die cut to the white layer, and it just cuts through. It doesn't cut the whole thing out, if that makes sense. So it just cuts this panel. I've added some of the sequins on. You get those sequins in the pack. And obviously that sentiment is from the stamp set. So that's just 3 of the cards. You'll be able to make a minimum of 8 cards. There's 2 types of ribbon. There's 6 by 12 sheets of the matching snowflake papers. This is one of the papers here. If I could find my pack, which I put safely, I could show you. Let me see if I can find it. No. Bizarre. Oh, here it is on the floor, because it's so big. So let me show you the papers. Let me get them out. Here they are. So I have used some of these already for my design cards. So they feature snowflakes. So we've got this one here, which obviously is perfect for stamping on. You could put snowflakes on that as well with the stamp set. And then this lovely bright bold misty moonlight set of snowflakes. White snowflakes with a bit of Highland heather. And then this lovely one with the darker blue. So I mean, the papers themselves are amazing. There's this one here, Coastal Cabana and mint macaron. And this one here with these tiny little snowflakes, but with that lovely watercolour wash. And then just making sure it was a different one. So this one with a little bit of Highland heather in there as well as the blue. And then this stunning background. And then we have this one here with the larger snowflakes, and these match the designs of the stamps as well, and that lovely backing. And then this one with the white background, and then the Highland heather and Coastal Cabana. I think that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, and 6. So in the class in a box, you're getting a 6 by 12 panel of each of those, and each of those panels would make at least 3 cards depending on how you cut them up. Okay, and in addition to that, you get sequins, you get ribbon, you get card bases, you get envelopes, and you'll have online tutorials, one for each card, so you can just go into the one that you want. And if you wanted to, you could just do multiples of one card. You'll get the vellum, which is embossed. And I'm also doing a couple of sessions on a particular date at the end of September, and I want to say it's the 26th, which is a Saturday. So you'll be able to actually craft online with me if you wish, sort of in person. So if that is of interest, an email is coming out this evening. It'll be landing in your inboxes tomorrow morning with details of how to book the class in a box. So the class itself is £20 and that's delivered to your door, and you can opt to add the dies, more papers, more sequins, the stamp set, and or the bundle and the embossing folder. So right, that's enough. I've got to be somewhere else now. So thank you so much for joining me today. Oh, hi Karen. Lovely to have you join us. I hadn't spotted you there. I was wittering on far too much. So those are the sets for this class in a box, and this was the card that we made this evening. I presume you probably joined after I'd finished it, so I do apologise, but it's going straight up on replay, so I'll be able to catch it on there. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. And if you want to order the class in a box and you're not on my normal mailing list for that, then just ping me a message or comment on this Facebook, and thank you. I've just had a message from Tracy, who's ordering her class in a box now. So thank you, Tracy. I'll make a note of that straight away. Okay, thank you everybody. I really appreciate you joining me. I will be back tomorrow, Friday, at 3 PM UK time. And I'm just going to finish up using So Much Love. I've got another design in mind to finish that one. So I hope you're able to join me. Thank you so much. Stay safe, look after each other, look after your loved ones and yourself. And I hope you can keep crafting. Thank you so much. Cheerio, everybody. Thank you to Karen. Thank you, Tracy, Babsy, Julie, Jeanette. Oh, hi, Dan. Didn't spot you in there. Claire, Vivian, Molly, Moretta. I hope I've got everybody. Fiona, thank you so much. I know Fiona's after the class in the box as well. So thank you all for your time today. Have a nice evening for you in the UK, and for over in Canada, enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care now. Bye bye.